Hi, friend. Thank you so much for hitting play. I hope you are so happy and so well on this Sunday. This is the episode of the April Lewis Experience. Down here, click subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified, all that fun stuff that we need to do. Let me make sure my volume is up good. Because you know me, I'm not doing a couple of takes. We're doing one take. I'm coming to you with the message that I have for you this Sunday evening. And then I'm going to let you be on about your merry way. And hopefully you have a phenomenal week ahead. So I am coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. I just got here a few hours ago. I literally, not even like 2 hours ago, maybe an hour and a half. So got here recently, and I literally came into the room and just like kicked back and took a little nap, like 10 minutes, and then I said, let me get up and talk to my peeps on here. So I wanted to share with you an experience that I had last night. And you know, we're all things experiences here, right? So last night, actually it's been something that's been happening the last few days. So I have been purging my apartment like crazy, right? And I know a lot of people at the end of the year, you use that time to purge your apartment or your home or whatever the case may be. I think it's a great way to just like let go of some stuff literally, physically, to bring in the new calendar year, right? But you know, I always say the changing of a calendar year doesn't automatically cause a transformation. It doesn't automatically say that you're going to walk into your greatness or anything like that. It's literally just a change of a calendar year and whatever you do with it. So I recently moved to Tampa. I'm in Tampa, Florida now. Shout out to my Floridians that's watching. Been here about 4 months, 5 months. I got here in July. And so I don't have a lot of space. It's actually the smallest place that I've ever lived, but I love it more than any other place that I lived in. And I think one of the reasons is that this is my first time being in a place as a full-time entrepreneur, and I am so happy and so free and loving everything that God is doing in my life. So I don't have a lot of stuff because when I moved from Maryland, I got rid of a lot of stuff, right? That's the shipping. I was trying to keep my costs down, and it was just like, April, it's you. Why do you have so many things? So I purged a lot of stuff. Well, even when I came into the apartment in Tampa, I got rid of more stuff, right? And so naturally, I didn't think I had a lot of stuff. But then I started going through my things, and I literally went through every drawer, every piece of wardrobe in my closet, my home office, which you know is now the studio, and shout out to me. I literally just finished my studio last night. So when I do the next episode, fingers crossed, prayerfully, it'll be the full-blown me from the studio. Got my little intro and all that little fancy YouTube stuff. But right now, we kicking it Sunday. I'm bringing you a message, right? So in the home office, there's a closet, and I am a stickler on storage boxes and containers. So everything was like nicely put together and organized. I knew where things were. I even pulled stuff out of there, and I started letting go of things. And let me tell you what I ended up letting go. A ton of jackets and blazers that I had, obviously from living up north. When I went through my drawers, I just have so many pajamas and sleep clothes and things of that nature. I went through that closet and I started looking at a lot of pictures that I had. So if you don't know my story, one of my stories, my main story, I feel like in 2006, I lost my husband. He was killed in Iraq. And that is, for me, what changed the trajectory of my life for God to put me where I'm supposed to be. And the way I say it is that it took me losing my mind with that situation to gain my voice so I can do what God needs me to do. And that's to help you be healthy, healed, and happy, right? So I'm going through all this stuff, and as I'm looking at these pictures that I have been looking at since 2006, not all the time. Early on, I used to look at them and cry over them a lot. But now when I was looking at them, yes, I cried. Yes, I got emotional, but I noticed that it was different. I noticed that it was a sense of pride that I had never felt before in looking at my late husband's pictures or pictures of he and I. And the pride came from within. I was actually proud of myself that I could look at a picture of this man and know that all is well with him, all is well with us, he's okay, and I'm okay. And that I am truly making him proud, but moreover, I'm making myself proud because from 2006 to now, that's what, we're in 20, that's 14 years. It has been 14 years of me dealing with grief. And in a perfect world, I would be able to tell you that I'm not grieving anymore, but that's not the case. If you've ever lost somebody, I think you grieve forever. It's just a matter of how you grieve. Does it take you a while and cause you to go into deep darkness and depression? Do you self-medicate? Do you find yourself using it to get re-energized or whatever? But I feel like once you have someone in your heart and they have a place in your heart, and then that place is open because they're no longer here, then it's a little bit of grief that's going to be with you. That's just my thought. I love to hear in the comments if you think something different. If there's anyone that lost someone and you absolutely no longer are grieving, please share how that experience looks and feel. But for me right now in this juncture, I still grieve Dwayne, right? But as I was looking at these pictures and I'm feeling a sense of pride in myself, I realized how powerful it is to release. And that's what I want to encourage you today. What are you holding on to that is taking up emotional and mental and physical space in your world that's blocking something that God has for you? Let me give you an example. I have been getting rid of stuff, like I said. I blessed someone with the dresser. I blessed someone with the table, a dinette table, perfectly good stuff, brand new, didn't want any money for it. And it's like the minute I got rid of that stuff, things came into my life. Not furniture, opportunities. Now, it's not magic, but I do believe that the more you give, the more you receive. You know, even the words say that give and it'll be given unto you, good measure, pressed together, shaken. You know, for you Bible scholars, you know how it goes. But essentially, God is saying, if you give, you're going to get, right? So are you giving? Are you giving of things that you no longer need? Are you holding on to anything in the hopes that it's coming back? Or are you holding on to something that may be a crutch for you? I did that with memorabilia of Dwayne. And I was talking to his best friend yesterday, and I was letting him know that I got to go back up to Fort Drum, New York, so I can finish a case that I have started putting his stuff in. Because Dwayne's flag, you know, when a fallen soldier, they give I don't like to throw up symbols and stuff, but it's a triangle. As soon as I did that, I was like, wait a minute, I ain't doing no symbols now. But it's the flag that fallen soldiers, the family of fallen soldiers get, right? That flag was such a painful object for me because it was the flag that draped over his casket. So that flag, in my mind, I was like, that's the last thing that touched his body. So I didn't look at that flag and be like, this was my proud infantry husband or this man fought. No, I looked at that flag and I was sad. I was depressed. I hated life. I hated myself. I hated the situation. I hated the state of our marriage at the time he got killed. Everything. It wasn't anything joyful. So what I had to do, I had to say, if you got to get rid of this flag, because every time you look at this flag, you're getting sad. And it was a couple of other pictures that I had out where I really had created a shrine for him. And that shrine was sadness. It wasn't looking at him like I looked at him last night and was proud and I adored him and I adored me and I felt free. So I had to let those things go. And it's so easy to hold on to stuff because of what that feeling does for you. Now, I dealt with survivor's guilt because of the way our marriage ended, right? So for me, had been punishing myself for years, sabotaging myself because I thought I should have, right? When that's nothing about that is godly, because God forgives you. The moment you ask for forgiveness, God forgives you. If you repent and you turn around, he does forgive you. So I was forgiven. I had gotten a visit from Dwayne in the spirit. He forgave me. We were fine. It was just me still battling it. And in the book that I co-authored, The Missing Piece in Forgiveness, Overcoming the Impossible, I remember to put a link to it down in the comments. It's where I shared the story of what really went down and how I knew that we were okay. So again, look around your place right now. Look in your closets, in your drawers, tucked away in the closets, in the garage, in the cabinets, shed outside. Where do you just have stuff to be holding on to? Stuff because you feel like you can't let it go. Stuff because you feel like you won't ever get it back. Stuff because it creates an emotion for you that you don't want to detach yourself from. Stuff because women holding on to clothes because you think you're going to get back in it. No diss, but we do that. I had to let go of some pants. It was these high-waisted, beautiful express pants. They had like 6 buttons coming down the front. Now, I am working towards getting my Team Healthy Living body back, but I also know right here, right now, I can't put those pants on and that's okay, so I let them pants go. What are you holding on to for the sake of holding on? Everything is energy, friend. So if you're holding on to stuff, you're literally operating in the space of holding on, which means that you don't have space to receive anything new. So how are you going to receive what God has for you in this season? How are you going to receive the person that God has for you in this season? How are you going to receive the opportunity that God has for you in this season? How are you going to receive the new clothes that God has for you in this season if you don't make way for it? What can you let go today that you are holding on to for the sake of holding on? Who can you bless with to be using it other than it sitting in your place collecting dust? It's okay. When you let something go, you create space for something else to come in, right? You do not have to be a hoarder of people, things, nor emotions. And it's easily done. It's easy to let something become a symbol of some moment in time, some situation, some experience that you aren't ready to detach from. So today I want to encourage you to purge. Let it go, sis. Let it go. My brother, if you're watching this, let it go. If you do not need it, if you have not touched it, and what I did for me, if I have not touched it in the last 30 days, why do I have it? Now, of course, there are some things that you just use situationally, maybe technology, or depending on where you live, cold weather gear, whatever the case may be. But don't just hold on for the sake of holding on. You literally have all that you need. So are you holding on to something that you don't need that's blocking something else that could be coming in your life? Is there someone else that could be using that thing that's sitting in the box? Is there someone that's cold right now that could be wearing the jackets that you have? Are there some pictures that you can bless other members of your family with so they can have the memory? Can you make copies of them? Can you put them in a scrapbook? Can you actually let them be something that serves you well, that makes you feel good, and it not just be clutter? So what do you need to purge? Look around, look deep, look hard, and then look within and see, what am I holding on to that I don't need? Let it go and welcome in all that God has for you in this season and the next. And I promise you, you're going to feel lighter and you're going to feel better after you do it. So I wish you a wonderful week ahead. You know I love you, I support you, and I'm always here cheering you on. If there's anything that I can do to support your excellence, your growth, your happiness, your healing, your health, all those good things, hit me up, April@aprilLewis.com. Of course, you can leave a comment here. My contact information will be down under this video. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And I want to give a shout out to my girl on my team, Kendall. She's getting ready to make things all fancy for y'all. You know me, I just want to hit record, say what I say, look in the camera and be like, oh, where's the bump? I like to point out my flaws. Oh, so here is because I had my locks on the other side, so the oil is getting on my face. So if there's anybody that watches this, tell me what kind of oil you use in your hair. It's natural stuff that I'm using on my locks, but it's still like hitting my face anyway. So that's not important, but seriously, if you have a good oil recommendation, let me know. Put a link to any products, natural hair products that you all use that may not break my face out. That'd be great. Anyway, Hank will be looking at this like, don't be pointing out your flaws on camera, but it is what it is. I love you. You are phenomenal. You are absolutely more than capable to do what God has for you. You got this, and I'll see you next week.